for watching Poetry in Motion with your host, D. Freeman.
I wish to celebrate this champion. I wish to thank this great servant for his service, sacrifices, and contributions. He continues to be a hero in his own right. He fought all his life for us. A darn good fight. Thank you, Sir Lewis, for all the good trouble in which you endeavor to employ on both good days and bad. I thank you for waking up daily to grapple with the situations that make even the best of us sad. Thank you, Congressman Lewis. Thank you for standing up for justice. Thank you for kneeling, praying for righteousness. Thank you for sitting, demanding equality. Thank you for marching, walking the walk. Thank you for bearing the heavy cross of inequality. Thank you for speaking, voicing truth to power. Thank you for lifting all downtrodden people. Thank you for fighting for us hour after hour. You wore the scars of courage well. You pushed back against systemic racism. You exhibited strength against the forces of hell. Your humble greatness has served us very well. And of your embodiment of justice, today I yell. You were always in the trenches of the battlefield. You had a made-up mind to make this nation a more perfect union. You made it great. You strained mightily under the burdensome weight. So, good trouble man, Sir Lewis, we thank you kindly, and we strain to accept your weighted torch of love. Yet, we plan to carry it forward, distributing its light to every corner of this world, making you proud of our good trouble. And as you smile down from your saintly seat above, we say, good trouble is the only way to go. Put good trouble in your life and in your action plan. Get in good trouble with me. Get in good trouble and you'll see. Getting in good trouble is definitely the place to be. That's Good Trouble, an ode to John Lewis. And we do thank him for his service to us for those many years. And that piece is in my book, Conversations in the Color of Life. All right. So today, I thank you for being here with me, and I want to share some Black history on the Black Panther Party. So I've written a piece that I'll read after I talk about the Black Panthers, but this organization was maligned, but it was actually, when I've done some research, it was actually a wonderful organization trying to better the Black race. The 10-point program is a set of guidelines to the Black Panther Party and states their ideals and ways of operation. It's actually a combination of Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence. The document was created in 1966 by the founders of the Black Panther Party, Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale, whose political thoughts lay within the realm of Marxism and black nationalism. Each one of the statements that were put in place for all of the Black Panther Party was for the members to live by and to actively practice daily. The 10-point program was released on May 15, 1967, in the second issue of the party's weekly newspaper called The Black Panther. And this article was printed in 537 issues, and it contained a program that called What We Want Now. The 10-point program comprised two sections. The first, titled What We Want Now, described what the Black Panther Party wants from the leaders of the American society. The second section, titled What We Believe, outlines the philosophical views of the party and the rights that African Americans should have, but are denied. It is structured similarly to the United States Bill of Rights of the Constitution. What we believe expands on the first section, making demands of what will be deemed sufficient payment for the injustices committed against the black community. For example, one section states that we believe that the racist government has robbed us, and now we are demanding the overdue debt of 40 acres and 2 mules. I've got a piece called 40 Acres and a Mule. I didn't realize that the statement was for 2 mules. 40 acres and 2 mules were promised 100 years ago as a restitution for slave labor and mass murder of black people. It continues to state that we will accept this payment in currency which will be distributed to our many communities. Newton and Seal believed that the black community had been deprived of these benefits over the years, and that the only way to correct this injustice was in repayment of assets that had been lost to them over many, many years of slavery. The 10-point platform was important for the Black Panther Party because it laid out the physical needs and all the philosophical principles that they expected and that could be understood by everyone. When Huey Newton talked about the platform, he stated that these things were not something new, but something that black people have been voicing all along for over 100 years. Yes, quite a few. Even since the Emancipation Proclamation and before that. This platform was essential to the party because it allowed them to state their wants, their needs, and beliefs that people could read and easily understand. So this is the content of their 10-point plan. Number 1, we want freedom. We want power to determine the destiny of our black and oppressed communities. We believe that black and oppressed people will not be free until we are able to determine our destinies in our own communities ourselves by fully controlling all of the institutions which exist in our communities. Number 2, we want full employment of our people. We believe that the federal government is responsible and obligated to give every person employment or a guaranteed income. We believe that if the American businessman will not give full employment, then the technology and means of production should be taken from the businessman and placed in the community so that the people of the community can organize and employ all of its people and give a higher standard of living. Number 3, we want an end to the robbery by the capitalists of our black and oppressed communities. We believe that this racist government has robbed us, and now we are demanding the overdue debt of 40 acres and 2 mules. 40 acres and 2 mules were promised over 100 years ago as restitution for slave labor and mass murder of the black people. We will accept the payment in currency, which will be distributed to our many communities. The American race has taken part in the slaughter of over 50 million black people. Therefore, we feel this is a modest demand that we seek. We want decent housing, fit for the shelter of human beings. We believe that if the landlords will not give decent housing to our black and oppressed communities, then the housing and the land should be made into cooperatives so that the people in our communities, with government's aid, can build and make decent housing for the people. Number 5. We want education for our people that exposes the true nature of the decadent American society. We want education that teaches us our true history and our role in the present day society. For we believe in an educational system that will give to our people a knowledge of self. If you do not have knowledge of yourself and your position in the society and the world, then you will have little chance to know anything else. Number 6, we want completely free health care for all black and oppressed people. We believe that the government must provide free of charge for the people health facilities which will not only treat our illnesses, most of which have come about as a result of our oppression, but which will also develop preventative medical programs to guarantee our future survival. We believe that mass health education and research programs must be developed to give our black and oppressed people access to advanced scientific and medical information so we may provide ourselves with proper medical attention and care. Number 7, we want an immediate end to police brutality and murder of black people, other people of color, and all oppressed people within the United States. We believe that the racist and fascist government of the United States uses its domestic enforcement agencies to carry out its program of oppression against black people, other people, and poor people. We believe it is our right, therefore, to defend ourselves against such armed forces, and that all black and oppressed people should be armed for self-defense of our homes and our communities against these fascist police forces. Number 8, we want an immediate end to all wars of aggression. We believe that the various conflicts which exist around the world stem directly from the aggressive desires of the United States ruling circle and government to force its domination upon the oppressed people of the world. We believe that if the United States government and its lackeys do not cease these aggressive wars, that it is the right of the people to defend themselves by any means necessary against their aggressors. Number 9, we want freedom for all black and poor oppressed people now held in the U.S. federal, state, county, city, and military prisons and jails. We want trials by a jury of peers for all persons charged with so-called crimes under the laws of this country. We believe that the many black and poor oppressed people now held within the United States prisons and jails have not received fair and impartial trials under a racist and fascist judicial system and should be free from incarceration. We believe in the ultimate elimination of all wretched, inhuman penal institutions because the masses of men and women in prison inside the United States or by the U.S. military are the victims of oppressive conditions which are the real cause of their imprisonment. We believe that when persons are brought to trial, that they must be guaranteed by the United States juries of their peers, attorneys of their choice, and freedom from imprisonment while awaiting trials. Number 10, we want land, bread, housing, education, clothing, justice, peace, and people's community control of modern technology. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitled them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. And this is part of the Bill of Rights they have. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute disposition, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off that government and provide new guards for their future security. So, the legacy of the 10-point program formed the basis for the Black Panther Party and was seen as a governing document that defined the actions of the party. In addition, a highly symbolic photo of Huey P. Newton was circulated alongside the 10-point program. He's wearing his famous Black Panther black cap, tilted to the side, and covering his right ear, and dressed in the standard Black Panther uniform. He sits comfortably but alert, his feet positioned for he's ready to stand. So in 1970, Newton shifted the focus of his political activities from Black nationalism to intercommunalism, seeking to unite and empower all disenfranchised groups. In 1972, the 10-point program was modified to reflect the changing focus. For instance, it added the demand for complete free health care, leading to tensions within the party. The party had changed from merely focusing on blacks themselves to now focusing on more minority groups and how to improve their lives. Focusing on injustices, they began to see their struggle as one that many people face. The 10-point program, unfortunately, was ultimately unsuccessful though it played a meaningful role in the development of the civil rights movement of the United States during the 1960s. The 10-point program also influenced the political outlook of those who came of age in the post-civil rights era and the hip-hop generation. Notably, Tupac Shakur, the son of former Black Panther Afeni Shakur, loosely based his philosophy of the thug life on the Black Panthers' 10-point program. This was an attempt to codify practices that could reduce violence in the Black community and restore dignity to humiliated, disrespected, and disowned Black men. So a few of the well-known people during that time were Elaine Brown, Fred Hampton, Eldridge Cleaver, Erica Huggins, Kathleen Cleaver, Huey Newton, Barbara Easley, Bobby Seals, Stokely Carmichael, and Bobby Rush. So that was information on the Black Panther Party. As I was growing up, I knew of the party, but because of all the misinformation that was given, we were thinking they were trying to overthrow the government. But they were not. They were just out there trying to help the Black communities defend themselves. And as I've grown older, I've learned to appreciate their efforts. And this is the piece that I wrote. I'm hoping to have it in my next book. Mission Interrupted. Whimsically thinking, yet whispering out loud like Forrest Gump. Sorry to interrupt your Black Panther party. Yet, I wish I had known your history, your function, your intentions all those years ago. I cannot without remorse accept the fact that we let the enemy put you down like an unwanted pet. Done by supremacists, a literal kill, Fred Hampton, a bad jacket spill, Stokely Carmichael. I now call out to the stars, speaking it into the universe, please, hoping the likes of you resurface, reincarnate in our desperate need. Manifest yourself, Black Panther Party. This time, I won't dare interrupt. I'll join. I'll join in your mission for self-defense against police brutality. I'll join in your mission for services for the poor. I'll join in your mission for your community connectedness. I'll join in your mission for free breakfast and free lunch programs. I'll join in your mission for urban clinics. I'll join in your mission for your medical care projects, for your school programs, for your preaching political empowerment. I'll join in your mission for your teaching of self-respect, for your 10-point program. I'll join in your mission with all you did and ideals you stood for in your 25 different programs, wanting land, bread, housing, education, clothing, justice, peace, and people's control of their own destiny. You make me proud. One in your back. Ultimate heroes, Seal, Hampton, Newton, Carmichael, Rush, Cleaver. You, BPP, Black Panther Party, should be our #1 mission. And that's Mission Interrupted. My first quote, sorry to interrupt your Black Panther Party, was from the Forrest Gump. So, I've got information individual information on Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, and Fred Hampton, but I think I'll use those at a different time. I want to share a piece with you now from this book entitled Bloody. Pumping rhythmically, automatically, my heart never skipping, yet it bleeds profuse empathy, which with each pulse, with each beat, one after the other. It bleeds for my brother headed to war, out on the battlefield in our own neighborhood, bleeding out on the street. It bleeds for my sister pushing whatever she can get into her blue veins, turning black, maybe crack, dropped off in our neighborhood by those white mother suckers. Bleeding is gigantic gushes. My heart pumps and pumps. It bleeds for this systemic racist, for this heartless world. It bleeds because they're not giving a damn about the poor, about the hurting, about the bleeding. So I tell it, oh, poor bleeding heart, just stop it. Stop it. You'll only bleed out. Your blood won't be the cure. The cure can only be the streaming blood of the cross to save such a wicked, ungodly world of this magnitude. And that was a rare blood indeed that he did bleed. Bloody. Even though we want justice, it doesn't always come when we want it. But we're hoping that the Almighty is still in control and able to fix what ails this world. I'm certainly hoping so. I've got a few minutes. I can't read Rage. That's too long. But I'd like to share this piece, Marvelous Quotes. This was originally written in one of my church's newsletters by Miss Betty Berry. Part of it is a quote and part is my interjection, of course. So I interject, on our uphill journey, we should strive, and this is the quote from her newsletter, dream like Martin, lead like Harriet, fight like Malcolm, write like Maya, speak like Frederick, dare like Shirley, think like Garvey, reclaim like Maxine, educate like W.E.B., challenge like Rosa, inspire like Obama. And the part that I added, not only that, we should always strive to stand like Dunny, serve like Kamala, promote like Tyler, organize like Fannie Lou, march like John, uplift like Larry, collaborate like Jesse, become like Michelle, articulate like Carnell, touch like Oprah, and aspire like Thurgood. And those are a lot of our leaders who have inspired us to live the life that we choose. Now, with our last little time, this is a quote that I wrote. When they recall history, they tell their history and want me to align to their story. Yet, I keep wanting my own history told, my own history honored, my own history remembered. For my recall will serve my heirs, my memory, not theirs. Okay, so I think it's about time for me to close out. So I'm glad you were able to spend a few minutes with me, and I hope you will do a little research on the Black Panther Party for yourself and see that how they were maligned and they were actually trying to bring the black communities together and improve their living. But the FBI and the government went in and destroyed them in a number of ways. So, God has a purpose for your pain, a reason for your struggle, a gift for your faithfulness, eternity for your soul. So don't give up. Keep the faith. God has a purpose for your life, a reason for your struggles, and a plan for your faithfulness. So be proud, be productive, and by all means, be blessed.